So instead of doing Mike's Minute in this episode where we usually do at the beginning to have a recap, we're doing Julia's Jumble. Spoiler alert.
Go.
It starts off with Zemo and his trigger words. Longing, rusted, 17. Bucky staring like this. No reaction. He is not triggered anymore. We have the quick breakout of Zemo breaking out of jail, and it started off and triggered by two guys fighting. Kill him first. Boom, 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 boom. Walk out. Change into the security outfit. Hide in the door. Hide in the door. Go behind. I'm out. Now we're flying on jets, country to country. We're going to Madripoor. We're drinking snake guts, and Sam is now a pimp. He's smiling tiger, if you will. And he has to bear with it. Bucky claims that he's no longer the Winter Soldier, but yet he's able to act like it and punch a bunch of people out. Then we go meet this spiky-haired woman who says that she knows all the answers. Wait, how is this 10 seconds left?
Yeah, go!
Sharon Carter appears. She's dark now. They find a guy cooking up serum in a storage bin. Storage bin blows up. Boom, boom. Fighting.
Stop.
Black Panther woman shows up. Damn, I thought I was... How was that a minute?
That was a minute.
Because you interrupted me.
It doesn't matter because that makes it more funny.
Okay, the rest I'll talk about. PSA announcement from Mike and Brian. Thanks for screwing us over and going on your events on this weekend to not be available for this video because this episode is very difficult. So thank you very much for burdening us.
Okay, everyone, as you notice, there's only 2 of us here in this review. It's a holiday weekend. Unfortunately, we could not get everyone together, and unfortunately, it had to be this episode.
It's a hard one.
In reality, it's probably not, but it just felt like when we watched it last night, there was a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. Maybe things that in the comic books people already know, but we don't. So usually that's when, Brian and Mike would chime in and let us know what the hell is going on. They're not here. We don't know where they are. They are AWOL. I'm just kidding. Since we literally just went through all of that, we're going to do it a little bit differently this time, and we're not going to walk you through like we have in the last 2 episodes. So I guess what we're really going to talk about is maybe our opinions, our reactions about stuff, or breaking down some things.
You got Zemo in there, and I understood that because that was tying in from when he appeared in Civil War and he caused Bucky, with the trigger words.
Yeah.
I actually was predicting when we started the episode, I was kind of hopeful this would happen. When Bucky went to see him in his cell, I was thinking that Zemo was going to start reciting the trigger words and that Bucky would, he would start reciting them. And Bucky would start kind of, appearing like he was a little bit starting to react to it. And then Sam would be like, whoa, we gotta get out of here. But what actually really happened was Bucky went to see Zemo alone without Sam. And yes, Zemo recited some of the trigger words like I thought.
Yeah.
But Bucky was just straight-faced, no reaction because he's been deactivated. So, I don't know. I was kind of hoping that was going to cause some problems more for some reason.
It's almost like you wanted it to happen, but it didn't, I guess you would say. So the whole scenario with that of hypothetically...
Let me just walk you through a hypothetical. Can I walk you through a hypothetical?
What did you do?
When Sam and Bucky have left the area and Bucky hypothetically tells Sam this story. And as he's telling the story, we see Zemo breaking out
doing all of it.
The jail. And so, it could have been a hypothetical story, could have actually been happening. It did happen.
And then he shows up, Sam's like, whoa, what?
If I may.
No!
Apologies.
Every single TikTok or YouTube video I've watched on this, people say, why did that seem way too easy? Or
breaking out from a German prison.
In a sense, I feel like the whole thing was just hilarious.
It was comical.
It was very funny because it's so nonchalant. Oh, I'm just gonna flick the fire alarm. I'm gonna do this, and it's people have said they could have done a whole thing on that, but it's this little segment, and it was hilarious.
I thought there was going to be more time spent on Sam and Bucky strategizing how to break him out, but instead it was like a scene that was like lasted a minute, and then they moved on with it.
I guess you could say that people talk about like the superhero, I forget the word for it. Because so many superhero movies have been coming out all of these years, are people going to get sick of it? And it's like, it's constantly just being like shoved down your throat. It's like all these superhero movies. So in a sense, they were like, well, what is Marvel going to do then to keep everyone's like attention span or on the superhero train? So one thing that was mentioned is, well, they're going to do this TV show stuff like WandaVision and now Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Which I like.
And kind of change what's going to happen or change the formula to keep people coming back and to get people not sick and tired and bored of the superhero movies. So you could say maybe they did that with the whole prison thing or certain things they're doing to kind of put a new spin on things or to catch us off guard or get us thinking a certain way to keep us watching it or to keep it, I guess, you intrigued? I don't know. But that was really, really funny. And throughout this whole episode, I feel like that the reason why it was hard, it was such a serious tone.
Yeah, there was not action in it. It lacked that. It was more of explaining. There was more to you had to really follow it. You had to listen. Anytime someone was saying something, it was like, okay, you can't miss it or else you're lost. You're confused.
What country they're going to.
Yeah, and you had to just follow everything that was going on because it led up to them finding who was making the serums. My favorite part was, I'd say the most comical part of the episode was when they go meet, I called her like the short hair spiky lady, when they go to see her to find some answers because she's like the first chain of who they should go talk to. And they all had to stay in their act. And I thought it was funny when Sam's phone rings and then she's all serious, like, answer it and put it on speaker. And then you're like, oh, shit. And then he does it, and it's his sister Sarah. And then Sam's just talking like his pimp gangster and like, oh, yeah, with the bank and the money, I'll kill them. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then the funny thing was, like, they're all staring, like, what's going on? And then she's, like, yelling at her kids something about Cheerios. Like, yeah, kill the Cheerios. So it was something like that. And then she's like, I'll call you back, Sam. And the woman's like, Sam? Who's Sam? Kill them. And then she gets shot, and then enter Sharon Carter, and so we get to see her again.
More, though, on that, I feel like that stuff with the club, some of it, even though we said there was such this serious tone throughout the whole episode, by them doing certain things, it's almost like a comedy act in itself.
Yeah.
So even though it was serious of Zemo breaking out of jail, it was almost a comedy act in itself. Sam being this pimp and having to drink that gross thing with the snake, in a way that was a comedy act. I thought he was going to spit that thing out. And then Bucky having to act like the Winter Soldier, where this is like the first time in public, I guess you would say it's public.
He's in fucking therapy over this shit, and he has to act like it? How is that going to help him get better?
Which is the truth. This is the first time in public you actually saw him with this whole arm out. And the short hair. So that's why I thought it was funny. They're like, oh, someone got a haircut. Yeah. There was some line with that.
It was funny.
But that whole scene with him being like all broody and stuff, and when he had to kick some ass, you're right. He's in therapy to get over all of this stuff. And he does that. I thought that whole thing was just, that was good. That was some good shit right there. You know, throwing things down. I don't know if Sharon Carter was in this segment yet, but there was a part that actually got me kind of mad. And it has to go off of the video we put out before of us arguing if Cap is dead or not.
Oh, yeah.
So we still do not know. Of course, rumors are flying around. They're not telling us any concrete or showing us any concrete evidence. But what made me mad is when they're on the plane with Zemo, and it's Bucky and Sam, they had this little book that's the one where Bucky was writing in all of his names that he had to have redemption over for doing stuff to them or killing them when he was Winter Soldier. And so they're going over, oh, yeah, that was Steve's notebook.
Oh, yeah, that was at the beginning, so Sharon wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Sharon wasn't there. So, oh, yeah, this is Steve's book. And they're going through and bringing up things that they told Steve to listen to. And I don't remember the song titles or whatnot.
It's like Troublemaker or something.
I don't know. It was something. But what gets me mad is they talk about Steve in past tense. Like, Steve loved that song. It was his favorite. He liked that.
I didn't notice
the stuff when they're talking in past tense, that's why it's like, well, was something going on prior to the Captain America shield getting handed over to the Smithsonian Museum? And all of that? Like, that's, I mean, like, that right there, it's like, well, what is going on? Is Steve alive? Is he dead? Is he doing moon stuff? Like, what is he doing?
The writers, they're doing this on purpose, so obviously that we don't know and don't find out yet. But it's kind of like the way Endgame ended with him, you know, moving through time quickly and aging and saying, now I finally got to live. I felt like we had an understanding of where he was at in the picture of things, and then the Falcon essentially taking over with the shield when Steve gives it to him. But then once we got into this, that kind of felt lost. Like when the first episode started, we see him with the shield and we hear Steve's voice, but then it's so mysterious and we don't know. It's not clear what that we don't know where Steve is what I'm trying to get at. It's unclear.
Right. So then why are all these rumors that Chris Evans is coming back to the MCU? Like, there's all these rumors flying around online about it.
That'd be awesome if he did, but now he's like aged. He's older.
Correct. But
they're saying he could
come back as the Hydra Captain America. Like, there's other comic book storylines that they said he can come back as. And that leads me into the Sharon Carter thing. We all know the origins of Sharon Carter and all of that with Steve. Like, we all know that from Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, all of that stuff we see. What got me really mad about the situation is you physically have two of Steve's friends in front of you. You had that connection. So why are you acting like this? I feel like she was acting so stone cold, and if it has to deal with her not being,
she turned dark, is what I say.
But if it was because she didn't get pardoned, it had nothing to deal with Bucky or Sam. So, I don't know, because she helped them, like, they were in the car doing their funny bit when she kissed Steve outside.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like that whole, like, there was, like, this weird dark cloud over the whole situation. She could have even had, like, a heart-to-heart conversation with Bucky. Or a heart-to-heart conversation with Sam.
We haven't seen her since Civil War, right?
No.
Exactly. So, that was their last interaction. And
right.
then all that stuff, the shit happened with Infinity War, Endgame, them blimping out. However many years between. Because
we don't know.
Who knows how many years it was between Civil War and now?
We don't know. Was Sharon Carter, was she in the blip or did she stay?
We don't.
I don't know. Brian or Mike might have an answer for us, but we don't know. But I don't know. I feel like when she came in, I thought even though she had their back, they had her back, it was that whole action sequence. There was something about the whole situation that just made me mad because it's this connection with, like, Team Cap. So I'm done with that rant, but I feel like there's something with that. And then look what happened at the end. She got in the car. Oh, we got bigger problems.
Yeah,
remember what she says.
More is going to happen, and that'll probably answer that.
Yeah.
Towards the end, we see a familiar face. This woman, I believe her name is Ayo. It's spelled Ayo.
Okay.
She is from, in the Wakanda area with Black Panther. We've seen her in several other movies. She shows up at the end, and she's after Zemo because he killed, in Civil War, I think it was, he killed King T'Chaka and framed Bucky for it to, stir all that up. And so she probably heard he was out of prison, like, broke out, and now she's after him. So that's how our episode ended, and that'll play out for her probably going after him.
So we're going to end this review now because there's only 2 of us and there's only so much we understand or that we thought we should technically get into so it's not super long. So thank you for joining us. Make sure you watch our review where we talked about episode 1 and 2 and the Is Cap Dead. There's also the WandaVision one. And so stay tuned.
With episode 4.
Yes, we'll talk about episode 4 and hopefully all of us will be together, but who knows. So thank you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Bye, guys.
Bye.